Welcome. Happy Grandparents' Day. Grandparents' Day is one of my favorite holidays, I suppose because I loved my grandparents so very much. Each one has a special place in my heart, and I think probably most of us feel that same way. Being a grandparent is also really wonderful. So if you are a grandparent with us today, we're grateful to have you with us. I'd like to start by sharing an article from a Dear Abby article from many moons ago. This is a message about our senior population. Our children grow up, marry, and have children. Each grandchild is special. We love them and adore being with them. Then the grandkids grow up and have little ones of their own. By this time, we're old and sometimes need help with housework, yard work, or just would like to get out of the house to go to eat or shop. We still have feelings and we're not dead, but while it may not be intentional, it seems there is no time for the elderly. We may say we're fine and don't mind being alone, but at times it is lonely. No one calls to say hello and ask if we need anything. How long does it take to make a phone call? It would be nice if each family member called once a week or came by once a month. The love we've always had for our family is still there and strong. Children and grandchildren, please think about this and remember, the most important thing you can give your elderly relatives is your time. Time is the most precious gift of all and doesn't cost a thing. Someday you will be old too. From a wise woman in North Carolina. Wow, pretty potent words and so very true. Time is one of the best gifts we can give to anyone. And so today, having looked at the need that is present, our title is Self-Care. And we'd like to take a look based on an article written by Psychology Today at how it is important to give to others, but it is also equally important to take good care of ourselves.
The first suggestion is to get good sleep. Now, of course, as everything else, moderation is the key here. But sleep is really important for us, actually. It's just, we quite often worry about how we're going to take care of the things that we do during the day and how to organize things and do our life in our waking moments. But the sleep is really important because it allows us to have the energy to do so. And I also happen to believe that dreams are very important to us because dreams are opportunities for our unconscious mind to tell us things. Sometimes those things don't seem to make sense to us, but we can analyze our dreams however we wish. The opportunity to sleep and to commune with our inner self, with our dreams, is very valuable and a great practice for us. So practice sleeping.
Yes, and getting good rest. Some of us have to take cat naps even, right? And that's good too. Allow yourself that time. The second step is all about food, about eating healthy. On our refrigerator, we have a sign that says, before you take the ice cream, think twice about your life. And David brought that to the house and put it up one day. And I thought, this has multiple meanings because it can be to the one that's going in to get ice cream that maybe someone else had purchased for themselves. Think twice about taking my ice cream. Or it can also mean before you take too much ice cream in your bowl, think twice about your life, how much you like your life and what you want your life to be like. So food is really important, eating healthy. And I think that varies for different people. We each have different foods that we really enjoy eating. And it's also important to research and find out what is best for us. And another aspect of that is cooking at home. Self-care involves cooking, and we love to cook together.
We do.
David's the boss, I'm the sous chef. But finding that pleasantry in the kitchen. I remember one Thanksgiving, our kids were all at the house and everyone was in the kitchen cooking together, and that was especially awesome. Self-care.
Another opportunity for self-care is to learn how to say no to others and yes to your own self-care. That's a problem for me sometimes, is being able to say no to others and do what I feel is best for me. This is really a strong spiritual concept too. Listening to yourself, listening to your inner voice, your inner wisdom, as opposed to the stuff that's going on around you. Feeling responsible to do what other people think is yours to do is not your higher good. Knowing what is yours to do according to instinct within you is the influence of spirit coming through you, is the voice that you need to listen to. That is valuable to listen to. So learning to say no to others and yes to your own self-care is very valuable, because you're allowing yourself to follow the path that is yours to do, not someone else's opinion of what you should do.
Yes, no shoulds. You used an interesting word, the word spiritual. So, you might think, well, psychology today and self-care, that's not really so spiritual, so why are you talking about that? The truth is that we are spiritual beings. Everything about us is spiritual. So the self-care, the care that we give ourselves and others, is all about our own personal spirituality and our spiritual beliefs. So step number 4 is take a spiritual trip, spiritual self-care trip. And so that can be physically taking a trip, and it can be out in nature or whatever really speaks to your soul. Have you ever been out on a cruise and just looked across the oceans and thought about how vast that ocean is? How it could be miles and miles and miles of no one there, just you looking out at it. That is a spiritual connection, at least for me it is. And finding what is a spiritually connecting trip for you is vital. And it might even be in your own mind. Take a spiritual self-care trip within your own mind. If you feel a lot of anxiety and tension, just go lie down on the bed or the couch or wherever you're comfortable and close your eyes and just go on a trip anywhere in the entire world, or in fact the entire universe, and just enjoy the splendor of the scenes around you.
Another opportunity to get outside is really important. Just go outside. Just go outdoors and experience your backyard or your front yard. Go out in the evening and watch a sunset. Or get up early in the morning and watch a sunrise. Or just go out and feel the cool breeze on your face. Sometimes not easy to do in Florida, but certain times of the day, we have found by sitting out on the back porch by the pool, quite often there's a nice cool breeze that flows by us as we're sitting in the shade, and it's very relaxing. It's an opportunity to breathe deep and get fresh air. For me, it's also an opportunity to get some exercise, because I enjoy working in my yard. And I've started a garden and planted a couple of trees and so on. And it's an opportunity to get some exercise and to actually commune with the earth. And I believe that quite a lot of our problems are a result of us no longer being a part of the earth and being separate from the earth. I love to dig into dirt and pull it forth and then plant things in it and then be able to eat those things as well.
Yes, you're getting your first avocado soon, aren't you?
It's right around the corner.
And the next self-care tip is to get a pet. I have a girlfriend who has a dog and a cat, and she really enjoys them a lot. And every time we talk on the phone, she talks about how she takes care of them or what they're doing today that's funny. And I know we don't have a pet of our own right now, but we have grand puppies, we call them. And the other day, our kids texted and said, how would you like to take the 3 dogs? for the day, and I said, "Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you," and they laughed. They thought that was so hilarious that I was so excited to get the dogs. But pets have such unique and beautiful personalities, and it's fun to just be with them, to watch them, to share life with them. And petting a dog or a cat or a pet, just petting them can be so soothing and relaxing. So get a pet.
It also gives us the opportunity to appreciate the many aspects and impressions of life showing up in very unique and beautiful ways. Another opportunity for self-care is simply get organized. Yikes. That's a scary thought, isn't it? I don't know about you, but I've accumulated a lot of things through my many years here on Earth, and my garage and my shed and my closet all seem to demonstrate that very clearly. And I believe it's time, I quite often think it's time to, okay, let some things go and release some things and get into that idea of circulation. But it's also an opportunity for me to be able to find what I'm looking for. And quite often the reason I can't find what I'm looking for is because there's too much other stuff around it. And so I spend a lot of my time digging through drawers and shelves and back little corners and trying to find that one thing that I know I have, and it's because I just have too much stuff. And so we have practiced this summer particularly going through and cleaning out some areas and letting things go. We're saving a lot of things for when the time comes when we actually do have giveaway day again. And so I'm going to have a van full of giveaway stuff. But it's organizing, and it's allowing us to clear the areas of our lives that are cluttered. And there's a lot of opportunity for us to be able to find things more quickly and easily. And so it's a blessing for us in the long run.
It also gives you something else to do during the day.
That's true.
So step number 8 is read a book. Oh, how often do we just not think we have the time enough to read a book? I had a girlfriend one time, and she said she had an appointment when we were trying to plan something. She had an appointment here and she had an appointment there, and I said, well, maybe we could work around it. What's your appointment? Well, one of her appointments was to get a massage. And I was like, okay. Well, another appointment was to read a book. And I thought, all right, well, you have an appointment to read a book? And she said, yes, because it's valuable for me to give myself that time. So I set an appointment because, if we have an appointment with a doctor or a dentist or something that we consider valuable, we will not use that time for something else. And I thought that was a great one. So make an appointment, set an appointment to read a book for yourself, and set an appointment for anything else that is important to you. Even if your spiritual practices need an appointment, that's okay. Set an appointment, because anything that's important, that makes you feel good, that provides good self-care for you, you want to find a way to create a habit in your life for that.
Well, that's actually our next topic too, is schedule your self-care time carefully and guard that time with everything you have. Being home and staying home for the summer has given us a lot of opportunity to do whatever we want. But there are responsibilities, because life does continue to go on even if you're staying in your own home. Life does go on, and so you need to take care of those responsibilities. So scheduling your time carefully allows you to not sit in front of the television and watch Netflix all day, or to sit and eat chips all day. It allows you to actually do those things that need to be done. And some of those things that need to be done are reading a book or cooking together, and scheduling those times together, and scheduling those times that are important to you. It's times where it's important to sit down and do your spiritual practice. Sit down and meditate. Sit down and pray. Sometimes you really do have to schedule those things on, because schedule those things into your day. Otherwise, you won't really get around to them. You think, well, that's not necessarily an important part. Well, yes, it is. It really is important, because your consciousness is the most important thing in your life. Because according to your conscious, according to your consciousness and the way you think, that's how your life shows up around you. It is a valuable, important aspect of your life. You need to schedule those things in and actually do them.
He says you need, like maybe he needs.
Yes, I do. Yes, I quite often talk to myself.
Oh, you get a lot done in a day. So, as you go about today and as you go about this next week, I hope you'll take the opportunity to really look at how you're providing self-care for yourself. And especially if you are a grandparent, give yourself that opportunity to create self-care that is life-sustaining, because you are valuable. We love you, grandparents. And if you are a young person who has a grandparent who is still around, please make sure that you reach out, give them a call, take them out to lunch or dinner. Make time for them. You will never regret the time that you give to those that you love.